day 3, no, part 3.
This is day 3.
Cut! Hello guys, we are here to talk to you about how we met.
Yeah, great stuff. You're gonna get all the details that you never asked for, but we're giving them to you anyway.
We all know you want them.
Sweet. Okay, let's go back 2 years.
2 years.
Over 2 years,
Yeah,
actually.
literally.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys my perspective, and then she's gonna give you yours, which I've actually not really heard. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so one day, no, I'm just actually, it was one day. I was getting ready for church on a beautiful Sunday morning, and I was really bored. So I was like on this website, and nothing sus going on here. It's like kind of games, but it's not like, it's a little more deep than that. But anyway, they have like different clubs that you can join to meet people online, which is actually really suspicious. And I was like, I probably shouldn't do this. Like, I don't think my parents would want me to join a club. But interestingly, I went to clubs and they have like recommended. And the one that came up for me was called Christian Youth Club. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm getting ready for church. How funny. So, I joined. And I didn't tell my parents. But he talked about that. But anyway, I met people on there and actually became like one of the admins at some point. But anyway, after being in there for about, I don't know, maybe like 6 months probably, and knowing a few people, I joined like one of the smaller clubs that was like kind of like a side branch of that one, if that makes any sense. Sorry about the dogs barking. And they had a prayer request form, and I never really had met Elena before. We hadn't really talked. Like, I saw like her username and like knew what it was, but we hadn't really talked. Maybe just like said hi in like the notes, but not like privately talked. Anyway, she posted in the prayer request form and asked for some advice or like prayer for a friendship situation that was going on. And I was literally going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. Like, that day I was literally like crying because my friend was like kind of ignoring me, wouldn't talk to me, and both of our friends were like a little bit older than us, so it was basically the exact same situation. But I like said in the form, like, girl, I would love to talk about it if you want to like message me, because we were going through the exact same thing. And that is basically the first time we talked, so that's how it all started. Let's go to your side.
Yeah. Oh, so like my perspective. Oh, one day. No, seriously, like literally one day, I was just bored, and then I was like, found the site, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This will be fun. And then I basically did the same thing. I was just like playing the games, and then I found that there was clubs, and so I joined them. And yeah, I didn't really know Abby, like I hadn't really talked to her that much, except for like, oh, hi, what's up? And then yeah, after
Time.
doing the prayer request, we started talking more, and then we were like literally talking every day, even though we were like 12 and like, reveal. And like literally so immature, like.
Yeah. Autumn, you might have to go inside, buddy. Girl, leave. Okay. As we talked more, we kind of realized like we had almost everything in common, and it wasn't until later we found out that wasn't entirely true. But the only things we disagree on really is food, sadness. Yeah. But we were talking kind of about like our lives and all of the girl drama that we've gone through. And like Elena said, like, we thought we were the smartest people ever. And at the same time, like, we were mature for our age, but we were like, looking back now, it's just like, bro, we were so dumb.
Literally, like, we knew nothing. We were just,
yeah. But we were learning, we were experiencing life together, making memories. And that's definitely how it all started, by that first connection of just realizing, wow, we are going through the exact same thing. And it's kind of crazy to think about, like, it was, like, clearly God, it was God that made that happen, because we were literally, like, I can't stress this enough, we were going through the exact same thing. Like, literally, both of our friends were, like, a few years older than us, not really talking to us, didn't really want to hang out, kind of ignoring our texts. Like, it was the exact same situation, and we both were confused and didn't really know if they still wanted to be our friends, like, all that stupid stuff, you know, friendships come and go. But it was really rough, and it was just, like, God clearly put that in our lives, and I didn't even want to join that little club. Like, someone actually asked me, like, will you join? And I did, and then I checked the prayer request form, and I was like, oh my word. So yeah, but I don't know, I guess we started talking to, like, other people. We got our little friend groups, and a bunch of drama happens.
So much drama.
You know how the friendships come and go thing? Yeah, that happened a few times. But through it all, we stayed strong, so let's go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we probably should get to the point where we started talking about meeting up, because that's kind of what this is about a little bit. So that would have been April last year, so April 2023.
Yeah. So, well, obviously, like, we wanted to meet up, like, as one does.
Like, always. From day one, we were like, oh, we should meet, but it's not really like that was going to happen.
You don't actually think it's going to happen, and it, like, seems pretty impossible for obvious reasons. And then one day, no, I'm just kidding. Then on my birthday, Avery sent me a birthday card. Crazy. And it was really good and really sweet. And I was like, oh, Mom, you should read this. And then she was like, really, what's the word?
Like, realized that we were actually good friends or something?
Yeah, sure. She was, I guess, impressed. We can use that, I guess. She's
Not
just,
impressed by the card, but like
amazed at our friendship, I guess. Like, in a way. I don't really know how to say.
yeah.
Like,
And also, as some little backstory, a bunch of stuff happened, and Elena actually hadn't told her parents about me, so we ended up having to, like, tell her, and she had to stop talking to all her other friends, which was actually a huge blessing. Hallelujah, praise Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
We needed to get some friendships out of our
Life.
yeah, a little bit, a few.
Yeah. So that was a whole thing where it was like,
Yeah.
I didn't tell her, and then you and I had a ton of long talks about it, and then
Yeah, it was really hard. And, like, also, we'd already known each other for, like, a year, but by this point, the time it was her birthday, her mom had only known about me for, like, 2 months, actually. Because remember, I was like, we did the first call, and then I was like, I kind of need to ask your mom for your address so if I can send you a birthday present.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
No, wait, I think that was for Christmas.
Yeah, it was for Christmas. Actually.
Okay, so, yeah.
So she'd known for, like,
So
4 months.
I think we met in, like, February or March, and then I think
It was
I'm pretty
that
sure
December.
we told her, or, like, I told her in, like, October or November.
Oh. So, yeah.
So then that was a huge thing, and
Yeah.
thankfully it went okay, where we were still allowed to talk, and we actually were able to start calling and doing, like, video calls.
So that
which
was the
was
first time we called. 'Cause
amazing.
she couldn't call, obviously, because her parents didn't know about it. But
Yeah.
so, like, even though we've, like, known each other for a while, it was only through texting, and I'd only seen, like, a few pictures of her. Like, I didn't even know what she sounded like or looked like, really. But yeah, so that was, like, really new to her mom. So it was kind of she kind of, like, realized that our friendship was a little bit more than just, like, some random person across the U.S. talking, because, like, we live the furthest away, which is really depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of like, whoa, it's actually, like, a friendship, and it's, like, centered around Christ, and it's, like, actually a good friendship, not just, like,
for fun or, like, I don't know.
completely immature. Like we said, we were
Yeah.
very immature, but it wasn't like our friendship was just, like, some pointless, oh my word, we're so friends, like, it wasn't for the drama or for the feelings. It was definitely a God thing, and I feel like that was kind of what she does. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. And yeah, so she realized that, and then she was like, oh my word, like, we totally need to get you guys together, but I don't really know how to make that happen, or, like, if that's even possible. So we got really hyped because the thought of even, like, being able to meet up, because before it, like, wasn't even a possibility, or
Like, we
even-
wanted to, but we didn't think the parents would even want to, or would they would even consider it. So the fact that her mom was, like, saying, you guys really need to meet up, was, like, insane. insane. Like, it was
Yeah.
a big deal.
So we were like freaking out a ton for
little
like
too
a
much.
while. And we were a little bit not smart, and we were just like, oh, let's meet up for the 4th of July. We do remember that?
I forgot about that. Oh, let's meet up.
And-
Obviously, that didn't work out.
yeah, that didn't work out, which we were really sad about, which is kind of dumb, not gonna lie.
Because it's like 2 months.
It's literally like, no. That's-
I mean, I feel like we weren't too sad because it wasn't like we actually thought we were gonna meet up. It was kind of just
wasn't
like,
that bad.
if it's possible, we should meet up this summer. But it was already like about to be summer, so obviously that was just like no. So then,
We were like, okay, that's fine that we can't meet up for like the 4th of July. Let's just meet up in November, right?
yeah, I felt like that was pretty like reasonable in our minds because we'd already known each other at this point for over a year because we met in March and that was the April after that. So we'd known each
Yeah.
other for a year, which seems so little thinking about it now because we've known each other for like
Over 2 years.
a long time. So yeah, we were talking to our parents and we're like, we should try to meet up in November. So in our minds, like it seems like it was going well, and like it was gonna work out. So yeah, you can tell them what happened.
But it wasn't. Okay? Yeah. Basically, it was just, I don't know. The moms called and then it was like, we can't make it work and it's not gonna happen. This was like in July, I think. It was like the end of summer.
Yeah, it was like a few months before. But that doesn't sound like a big deal, like when we're saying it. But the thing is, this was like weeks into us being like, we're gonna see each other in November.
Yeah, like every call was legit like,
we're gonna meet up so soon. Like we're gonna see each other. We're gonna get to hug. Like we weren't just like maybe we'll meet up. We were like we are going
we were
to make this
freaking
happen.
out, like talking about it 24/7, like making all these plans and like a
Yeah.
million lists.
A million lists of all the things we were gonna do. Like we handled it completely wrong and definitely grew up a lot since then.
Yeah.
But like we said, like it wasn't just like, oh, it's not gonna work out in November, like it was with July. Like with November, we were like, we are meeting
Like,
up in November.
yeah,
Like we had
were
a
so
countdown.
ready. Like we were counting down for so long.
Like we had like 100 days. Like it was actually like 200 days because we had like the countdown from
Yeah.
April. So we had a countdown and we're like, we're gonna see each other in this many days. Oh wait, I actually have it. It was 81 days when mom's called.
Oh yeah.
So that's actually that would be. It'd be like 2.5 months before November. Whatever that is. March, April, May, June, July,
And
August,
so,
September. It was really like September.
yeah. So when we found out we couldn't meet up, it was actually really bad and like really hard, and we were like low key depressed for a little
Like
while. Like
yeah, it was bad. And
It was-
also like when the moms were calling about it, we were
We were
on the
calling.
call. We were on a call like crying, like what if they say no, what if they say no? But in our minds we were like, we just gotta trust God, like he's gonna make this work
Yeah.
out. Like we thought this was God's will. Like we were like, God's gonna make it happen, like we're gonna trust God. But looking back now, we completely realized like God never said, like he gave us no signs, 0 signs that we were gonna meet up in November, and like actually he gave us a lot of signs that it wasn't gonna happen. But
Yeah.
we were just like, nah, we're gonna meet up. Completely ignored that. So we were on a call like we're gonna see each other, like this could be the yes that we've been waiting for. And then my mom came out of the garage because she was like in there, and I was like, what did they say, what did they say? And I was on the phone with Elena, so like she could hear my mom, even though she could have just asked her mom, but it was like, we're just gonna ask my mom because she was right there. And I muted because I was scared, and my mom was like, it's probably, she said it's not really gonna work out, just for many reasons. And I'm sure most of you guys can relate, like your parents wouldn't just be like immediately, oh, let's fly across the US. And also, we never told them that I'm not supposed to be here, you guys are supposed to be there.
Oh yeah, so this entire time we were planning on like my mom and I going there, like the entire time, like that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And so yeah, anyways, we'll get to where we are now later. But yeah, we were really sad. It was a really tough time because like we were starting back school and stuff, like I was like, and you were too.
Busy.
And we're getting so busy and stuff, and it was just such a hard time because imagine having like getting really bad news and like being depressed. Not actually, but like pretty much. And
Yeah.
then just having to like go back to normal life and like do school and like all this stuff, like see
Yeah.
people all the time and everything when you literally just want to be with your best friend.
Yeah.
When
And
you can't.
oh, Autumn.
No,
that was amazing.
That was really funny.
Okay, but also like it sounds like a little dramatic, but I also want to explain a little bit that at the time I had no friends in person, and I had just gone through a really rough situation where I'd actually lost all my friends, and I literally had no one but Elena at the time, and she was also like going through some friendship drama, like still like things were a little bit tough, and my mom was trying to like introduce me to the world and like kind of be like, let's go meet some friends, and I had just gotten that news, and to me, seeing other girls my age sounded like worse than death. Like I was literally just sitting there by these people. Like we were on a swing one time, and I was just like sitting by this girl, and I was just sitting here thinking, I wish you were Elena. And looking back now, like that is so horrible. That is so wrong. But that is the way we felt, and it's not just like some dramatic thing. Like we definitely needed each other during that time. We were both going through a lot, and it was like really, really hard news and very disappointing. And then, not only did we just have to go back to normal life, something bad happened in November. So, the literal week, so we had like the date that we were supposed to meet up in November. So, and her mom was like, it's not going to work out. It's like, it's just too soon. It's too much money. It's too expensive for us to fly there. But anyway, a few weeks after we found out that we weren't going to be able to meet up, Elena texts me and like dying. So we call. I think we called, right?
Mm-hmm.
We called and she's like, I have bad news to tell you. They were literally going to Ohio. Like they were going on a road trip the week that we were supposed to meet up. So she was leaving me because she doesn't have a phone, and she didn't have a phone at the time. So we literally, not only could we not meet up that week, they were literally going on a different trip, and we could not communicate the entire time. And that was like oh, it's so bad. Like I don't really know like something that we could compare it to so they'd kind of understand a little more like the pain, but like think about something in your life that you really want to happen, and imagine being told that it's going to happen, or at least that's what you think, and then it's like no, and then instead something bad happens. Like it was not good all around. The situation was just not really working.
Not great.
Yeah.
And November was just a really bad month. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and like pretty much every call, most of the calls we did during that month were
It was
just
just,
like
like,
us
therapy.
crying and like
Yeah.
needing help.
Yeah, I feel
But-
like I don't really remember exactly all the things that went wrong, but I know for me, like that month, I could not sleep, and I was dealing with some really bad like insomnia, and I was not sleeping.
Yeah.
I also was sick for most of the month, like really bad sick, and
Yeah.
when I get sick, I stay sick for like 6
long
weeks.
time.
So if it's a cold, because I have some like stuff that happens. So,
Yeah.
but just all the little things really added up, and November. Like even looking back now, like it doesn't seem dramatic. Like November, honestly, was the worst month that I've had in like a year, 2 years.
Yeah, seriously, it was so bad. And also, I'm pretty sure that was the first time we like fought or like were mad
Oh yeah,
at each other.
Yeah, we got like so stressed out that we were like had a lot of tension in our friendship, and also we couldn't talk because she was on a
Yeah.
trip, so like we weren't talking. Plus we were like already kind of on the rocks a little bit, and then I was struggling, and also like
Yeah, so we. It was like a year ago, so I'm like trying to remember. So yeah, we literally went to like Ohio and Indiana, I think. And so we're just like traveling a lot and like seeing a bunch of people, and like being away from home for a few days isn't that bad, but like a week or more is like not great.
yeah, especially when it's like that stressful. Like get in the car, travel again, get out of the car, get back in the car. Like that's just a lot of work, and also she has a lot of siblings, so it's just a lot of stress.
Yeah, literally.
Especially when you're already dying.
And yeah, so then December, what happened in December? Oh, well, we were just,
December was a good month.
yeah, December, things were getting better, I think.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was
Well,
Christmas. Like Christmas is
Christmas-
happy times for us, at least.
yeah, Christmas was good.
It was kind of like the first, like December wasn't like great. but it was definitely like slowly getting better. And kind of like the first day of December, I feel like we realized like we really actually genuinely need to just trust God. Like
Yeah.
we're taking this into our own hands and it's not working. Like we found a few songs that really cut deep. Like wow. But that was kind of the month when we realized we're gonna be okay. God's got us, and no matter what, because it was kind of like we got through November. We were like so happy and proud of ourselves, and it's kind of when we realized like if we can get through that, we can get through this too, and like we're gonna be okay. So obviously Christmas, like it was good, and then we were January 1st.
And also, I'm pretty sure like during Christmas was when we found out, or when we found out, or was hoping that we could meet up, like that coming summer.
Yeah,
So,
like we were like talking about it, and the moms were like, "Yeah, we can try to meet up in June."
yeah, like they were
Which is now.
actually, they were actually like
Gonna make
trying
it work.
and like
Yeah, like
Yeah,
her mom
gonna
was
do
saving
it.
up, my mom was getting home with plans, like we were kind of getting like the house, car situations, all that done. So things were really looking up, and then tell me about it.
and then well, January was actually really good because honestly, waking up to like a new year was so refreshing. Like
Yeah,
I don't really know
clean
how to
slate, like
describe it.
restart.
Yeah, seriously. It just felt so good, and like we didn't really feel as like weighed down as we had the past few months.
Yeah.
And we started like reading our Bible every day, which was something we
got
weren't
that
doing.
streak going. Like we really got closer to God.
Yeah,
and to each other.
Yeah, because we found out that we were both struggling with reading our Bible, and so we held each other accountable.
Yeah, because the thing
Yeah.
was, during the months where we were gonna meet up and then didn't meet up, that was the only thing we talked about, and it got to the point where our friendship was actually not even that great. Like, we were obsessing about needing to meet up so much that it got to the point where it was like, are we even friends? Like, what? So we kind of like started talking again and realized how much we actually needed each other and how much we could rely on each other then, even without being together.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely an encouraging time and just like get back on track.
Yeah.
And also we like, again, New Year, we got away from November. It was like, we're gonna be closer to God and kind of redo that whole meetup thing.
Yeah. And also, I know we kind of talked about it, but we didn't really say like that much about it. But during like the school year in November and everything, like having to be with other people was literally the worst thing ever, because it was so bad, because you want to be with like the one person you can't be with, and you have to be with other people that aren't as amazing. And it was just so bad. Like we couldn't enjoy anything, like any like party or I don't know, hanging out with people was like
Honestly,
we
even like
didn't
our
have fun.
families.
Yeah.
Like we were like not really close to our families because we were just so obsessed. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, we literally like didn't enjoy anything and didn't have fun.
Like we weren't depressed, but we were just like life sucks. So basically
Yeah,
depressed.
everything stinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that was a big thing. So that's why January was so nice, because that changed too, where like we actually started enjoying things, and like
Yeah.
being with people was fine. And then so yeah, we were getting pretty hyped about the summer because we were really hoping to meet up. And then in March, I'm pretty sure, was when, well, we were starting to talk about it a lot more because, well, it was getting close to June and stuff.
Like we were starting to make the dates, and I actually have some videos of me doing bake sales. Those bake sales were in order to earn money to help pay for her ticket so that she could fly to where I live. So I was like doing a lot of bake sales to earn money and like really like this is gonna work out. And might I add, bake sales are 0 out of 10.
Terrible.
Like they're so much work, so much stress. Like I was not sleeping.
Yeah.
I was grinding to get it to happen. So we were like really like this is going to happen. We're gonna meet up.
Yeah. And then Mom came and talked to me one morning, and we had this whole conversation. It was a really good conversation. Like, it was really hard, but it was good for us to
Like
have.
a good hard.
Yeah. And she basically said that, like, we couldn't really meet up. Like, it just wouldn't work out. Like, a lot of things were going on, and it just wouldn't really be wise to just slap down a bunch of money and go across the United States when, like, there was other things we needed to, like, take care of and stuff. So that was really really hard conversation, but it was good. Like, I don't really know. Like, I just felt at peace and really, like, trusting God and stuff.
And then I did not know that any of this was going on, so I was just living my day. And then towards, like, it was like 7 o'clock at night for me. It was like 10 for her.
Yeah.
And she, like, texted me and was like, I kind of need to talk to you about something. And I immediately knew this is about to meet up. Because what else would she need to talk to me about? Like, obviously, that's what it would be. And we kind of just have that, like, oh. So I was like, can you tell me? And she's like, I need to tell you on a call. And I am the type of person who's very impatient. And I'm also a little pushy. So I was like, can we just call right now? And she's like, no, but sure. So I definitely should not have done that. That was not great. And then...
It was really hard because, well, obvious reasons, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like you didn't really know how to tell me. Like, you didn't know how to break my heart in a way, you know.
Yeah, like,
and that's obviously not a
that's
good job.
the literal last thing I would ever want to do.
Yeah. And I had like I wasn't prepared at all. And I'm not making excuses for the way I handled the situation, but I definitely would have been like if it wasn't so sure, like, we're gonna meet up, because the moms were like, we're saving up, we're gonna make this happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it wasn't us being dramatic this time. Like, they were genuinely like, we're gonna make this happen for you, and they told us that. And so we were just like, yeah, we're gonna meet up. And if it would have been like a maybe, I would have been a lot more prepared. But it was like a yes, like, we're meeting up. And then we got on the call, and she was like, kind of just like sitting there, and I was like, are you gonna tell me? And obviously she didn't really have any preparation time to tell me either, so she was kind of just like blunt.
Like, yeah, I just straight up said it, which
She was just like,
wasn't great on my part, but also I had like no idea what to do, and I was like terrified because, yeah, it just
she was basically
stinks
just like,
'cause-
Mom talked to me, and we're not gonna be able to meet up after all. Like, that's what she said. I was just like, but I didn't really know how to process it. And then we've moved on from this, so I don't think it's a problem now. But I did some not great things. I got extremely angry because here's the thing. I've been through a lot of hurt, and I've come to the point in life where I don't like hurt. I mean, nobody does. But like, even when I'm just like a little bit sad, like, I literally feel so bad, and I just like don't want to exist. Like, I don't like sadness at all. Like, I don't know really how to explain it, because nobody likes being sad, but for me it's like a different level. Like, even when I'm just a little bit sad, like, even just like sad that I can't do something in the moment, like, I feel so horribly inside, and like my heart physically hurts. So in that moment was like, I just got hit by a car of sadness. Like, it was so much hurt, and I just instantly was like, I cannot do this, my heart is gonna shatter. So I instantly turned it into anger, and I got so mad, because instead of being 100% hurt, I was entirely so angry, so mad. And I wasn't really yelling at her. I kind of just like pointed the camera at the ceiling, because I was sobbing. Like, obviously I was still crying. Like, I was bawling my eyes out, but I was so mad, and I was thinking a lot of not great things. Like, you could have tried to convince your mom, or like, your mom shouldn't have told us that she was saving it was gonna work out, if she was gonna change her mind. Like, that is not okay. And obviously I'm wording it a little bit better. Like, in my mind, like I said, I was very, very mad. And then Elena was just like silent, and we were just like that for like 10 minutes. Like, I was just pointing the camera at the same, we didn't say anything. I was just sobbing with my, like, I muted because I was literally sobbing my eyes out. And I was so mad, and I was like mumbling to myself and like ranting. And Elena was just like sitting there, and she looked so sad. And I like the 1% of me that was like still like not my flesh, I guess, like with Christ, like that 1% of me was just like inwardly felt like the worst friend ever, and I desperately wanted to give her a hug, and she just looked so sad, and I was just like, no, it was so sad. But yeah, and then she was just like, I gotta go, because it was really late for her, and she wasn't supposed to be on the call, so she was like, I gotta go, and I unmuted, I was just like, hey, and then she hung up. So that was that.
And then, well, the next day, like, I was really busy. Like, we went to the zoo, and we're like gone all day, and we had youth group in the evening, and so like we didn't talk for like an entire day.
Yeah.
Which like isn't that big of a deal, but in this situation it was
a
bad
big
because
deal.
we were like not on good
terms.
So it was really bad, and I was actually like so sad the whole day. And I was like with my other friend, and I was just, yeah, I was really sad because I knew that like Abby was mad, and that like was like the worst. And
especially because like we've never been mad at each other.
Yeah,
like we've been like annoyed a little bit, like that one time in November. Like we were a little annoyed. There was definitely some tension, but this was like I was full on angry, and I've never been angry at Elena, like ever. Why would I be?
So it was just really bad, and then.
Well, so right when we got off the call, my mom was like basically like waiting by my door because she could hear me sobbing, but she knew I was on the call, and she came in, was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Please get out!" Like I was so mad. But anyway, we got off the call, and my mom came in the room that night, and she talked to me and gave me a talk. You know, it was like kind of the same, like the hard talk that Elena and her mom had, but it was me and my mom. And at first, my mom was very like sweet and helping me feel better, and I did feel better, and she was like trying to help me understand that sometimes plans change, and then she was like, we're gonna make it happen where you and Elena can meet up, and like if they can't come here, I'll take you there for like a day, because I have 6 little siblings. Like my mom can't really just leave, and I can't go by myself, so she's like, I'll take you there for a day, like you'll get to see each other this summer. But obviously to me that was just like, I don't care. Like I was so mad, I was bitter. I was like, I do not care, like that's not gonna happen, you're just saying that to make me feel better. But then she was like, okay girl, you need some help. So she was basically like, you have no right to be angry at Elena, you have 100% right to be upset and hurt. Bro, chill. And she's like, yes, you can be very sad, but it is not your place to be mad at her mom, mad at Elena. And she was like, Elena has never done anything to you. Like she kind of just reminded me that we have been best friends for so long. We've gone through so much, and Elena has been there for me through everything. All the times I've needed to rant and let out and cry, like she has always been there. And my mom made me realize that, and of course I felt like absolute trash. Like I felt like the worst friend ever, which in that moment, I mean, I was. But yeah, she kind of made me realize like I'm handling this so wrong. So yeah, I went to bed, prayed about it, and then yeah, the next day we didn't really talk, but I texted you, right? That's what happened, and then you came home and like saw it.
Oh yeah.
So that next day, like after I'd gone to bed, like she was at the zoo, and I had nothing to do. Like I was so not busy, and I was just sitting in my room thinking about what happened, and it was like all day. Like it was really bad. But I finally was like, girl, you need to just humble yourself. Like you're not gonna let this get away. Like the whole reason you're sad is because you love her so much that you want to see her. Like what are you doing? So I prayed for a long time and read my Bible, and then texted Elena like this huge message and was like, sorry, I'm like, we're gonna get through this, blah 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 blah. And actually some bad stuff happened with like an ex-friend at the time where like we ended up like, yeah, we're not gonna talk about that, it's not really relevant, but I was just like really struggling, so I was going through a lot. So yeah, I texted you, and then you didn't respond till like the next day, right? Because you were busy.
And you texted my mom.
Oh yeah, I did text her mom, and it was not a good text. I mean, it wasn't like bad, but it was just like kind of telling her that I was depressed, and I was like, how could you let this happen? Kind of, but like not in like a bad way. But then I kind of realized, like your mom texted me back and was like, it's just a lot of pressure on us. And then because that thing had happened with my other friend at the time, it was like 2 things going on where people told me that I was putting pressure on them, and I kind of realized I was like, that's like a issue I have where not intentionally put pressure on people, but because I'm just so brutally honest and blunt, like I just come off as like, oh, I'm depressed. So like they feel like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I need to make you feel better, so it makes them feel like horrible for not letting meetup happen. So I kind of realized I have a problem of like putting pressure on people. So it was really good, and me and your mom talked, and your mom was like, why can't you guys just come here? Like there's a lot of pressure on us in there. And that's when I realized my mom said she would take me, your mom's okay with it, and I started to feel much better, but also still like really sad because we hadn't talked yet, and it was still tension between us. I was like, are we even gonna need to meet up? Like, is this even gonna be okay? Like, I was very dying. So yeah,
same. And like this happened in literally a span of 24 hours. So
yeah, it was like
we're not meeting up. I told her we were like sad and like mad, and then that night it was like, or the next day, it was probably the next day, Mom was like, I was talking to Abby and they're coming here.
Yeah, so basically in 24 hours, it's like, you're not meeting up after we are meeting up for months, it was like, you're not meeting up. They're just like, chop, not meeting up. It's like, done. And then basically me and Elena are dying. Like, there's huge distance between us, like, literally, and also, like, in our friendship, there was just a lot of tension. And then it was just like, you're not meeting up. Is our friendship even going to work? You're meeting up. But different plans. And that was just like she said, in 24 hours, like less than 24 hours. Because that was that night and then the next morning. Like, it was just insane.
So then we called and we had this big long talk.
That call.
And we worked through everything and just had a really good conversation. And then we were like, honestly struggling a lot with like processing what just happened, because bro.
Yeah, like what? So it's definitely like a teary call, and it was like we had to work through things, and then we had that like it sounds weird, but like faith of a child, kind of like that tentative like hopefulness that like, wait, is that actually still gonna work out, kind of? Because like after going through all that, you're just like, you feel like you just got hit by a train. Yeah, you've just been beaten up, spun around, like thrown on the ground. You're like, oh, what is even happening? Like your mind is spinning. Like what?
Yeah. And so that was in March. And then we actually had the real countdown.
Yay!
And
so we figured out the dates. Like, it actually worked out. I did more bake sales. My mom and I booked the tickets. Kind of got to skip through all this because obviously it worked out, so it's not really important.
Yeah.
But the main thing that we wanted to tell you guys, like, if you get anything out of this, it was not us that made this happen.
It's not us.
Like,
we literally were like terrible and
we handled
not
it
trusting God.
so wrong. We do not deserve this at all. And like, the thing was, we, like, if she would have came to where I live, it would have been like not bad, but it would have been so much worse. And like, once we decided that we were gonna go there, everything just instantly fell into place. Like, all the plans were just so easy. Like, Elena's mom was like so sweet and just so chill, and the mom started talking, and like everything was working out. Like, it was just so much easier, so much better. Like, we could stay at their house and they wouldn't have to deal with like me having to babysit my siblings while Elena was over, because that's just sad. And then like, it would have been so much more work. We would have not even been able to really hang out, and it just worked out so much better. So God always had a plan, and if we would have just trusted him in the first place, things would have been so much easier. But at the same time, I think we're very grateful that we had to go through that, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we needed to go through that, or like we literally wouldn't be who we are today. Like, we wouldn't even be here.
Yeah, like within the last 6 months, a year, we have grown as people, as Christians, as friends, as daughters, as sisters. Like, just overall, every single part of our lives have been so much better, and we've grown so much closer to God. And like, I mean, obviously, because like we realized God is so good. Like, not just like God is so good, but like literally, we did everything wrong, and yet God was still like, I'm going to make this happen for you guys in the best way possible, better than you could ever have imagined. And he always had so much more of a better plan than we were trying to make. And like, it's just insane the way that we saw God in those last few months, and the way that he blessed us. And it was just like,
yeah, like we totally did not deserve it at all, and yet here we are.
Did.
So yeah,
that is the story.
yeah.
I'm like,
Whoa. It's 41 minutes.
What? Wait.
we have been out 41 minutes.
It's been like 10 minutes. Oh no.
Oh. Wait. That says 41 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What on earth?
So
Y'all.
basically,
Whoa. Life change.
God is so faithful and gracious and kind. And we should like an inspirational message.
No, like,
I don't know
seriously.
what you're going through.
No,
Okay.
seriously.
Yeah.
No, like, actually, like, life can be so hard, and as Christians or not Christians, like, a lot of times we wonder and doubt God and ask him why, and like, we feel like he's not there. But the thing is, our minds are so simple. Like, we're humans, and compared to God, we are literally, like the Bible says, we are dirty rags. And like, God has such a better plan, and in the moment it's like so confusing and so hard and it doesn't make any sense. And God does not want us to hurt, and it's not like God is making us go through pain. It's our own choosing to not trust him. And like, he always has a better plan, and he always has answers to your questions, but you just gotta trust him. And I know it's so hard, and like, it's a lot easier said than done, and you're gonna go through pain, but you're gonna like we learned, and trusting God is so much easier now. Like, it's still not easy at all in any way, but we understand so much better that God takes care of us, and he's got us, and like, whatever you're going through, he has a plan for you too. And like, if you just trust him, and instead of being mad at him and hurt, like, call out to him, because he wants you to run to him so much, and like, he will be your perfect friend. He will be by your side. He will comfort you, and in his own perfect time, he will give you those answers. And like, that is a hard lesson that we learned, so I wanted to share that with you guys. But
yes, and I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Wait, hold on. Cut. Oh, okay. Uncut. Sorry. And a lot of the time, it can feel like he doesn't know what we're going through, or he doesn't know how hard it is for us, or he doesn't know the pain, which was probably something that we struggled with, like, oh, maybe he just doesn't know.
yeah, like, we're going through so much, and he's just like not making anything change. Like, do you not realize that we're like, our hearts are broken? Like, kind of that.
Yeah, but obviously that's not true. Like, he literally knows exactly what we're going through, and it's his will and his plan. And when you get on the other side, you are so much stronger than you were, and you literally grow so much. And like, for us, when we found out we couldn't meet in November, it was literally like we're just walking through a dark tunnel, like, couldn't see the end, like, had no idea how things could get better or would ever work out. And it felt pretty hopeless for a while, because it's just, yeah, you have no idea.
We were just kind of trudging on with such a heavy weight on our shoulders. And like, as cringy as it sounds, like she said, like, we were just stuck in the dark, and it wasn't until we started trusting God that we came back into the light, and we could really see that he was there for us, and like, we could see his goodness all around us. Like, it got to the point where like, life was so good, I literally walked outside and was like crying, like, thank you, Jesus, like, the world is so beautiful, like, God is so good, and we are so blessed. But yeah, like, now looking back, like, that pain seems like nothing. Like, it was so long ago, and it was so quick, but in the moment, it was like life was ending, and life was terrible, and nothing was ever gonna get better. But you're gonna make it. Like, we made it, you can make it. And we sure did handle things the right way, so you can too. And like, just keep trusting, keep doing your best, keep having hope, even if you only have a little bit. Like, hang on to that. Like, the Bible says, even the faith of a mustard seed, like, tiny seed, like, even that much is enough, and he will bless that. He will bless you so much for your faithfulness, and he will always be faithful to you. And that is like so amazing. And just wow, but we really need to end this. Oh my goodness, we have an hour-long thing. We thought it was being 5 minutes.
So
But yeah,
basically, well, we were telling you this as it's our last day, and we're probably gonna like be crying at some point, because, you know, having to say goodbye is hard.
yeah, again, we're gonna trust God. We're gonna take our own advice, because God has a plan, and he'll be there for us through it all.
Yes. God is in control, and we're gonna trust him.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is the story of how we met. Obviously, we met up, and if you want to see all the footage of my flight, of us first seeing each other for the first time, of all the craziness, all the drama we did, all the stuff we did, you can go check those out. I will put the links in the description. So, yeah. I turned her
Thanks
into
for
a
watching.
vlogger.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, God bless you all, and yeah, thank you for watching.
Yes.
If you watched this, I don't know if you finished it, but hopefully you did. Anyway,
Smash that like.
subscribe.